Hello and welcome to another 4-Minute Muppet Madness, your daily roundup of all of the latest news from around the internet, what's there, what we should be listening to, and what's going on, and a little bit of analysis because it's been messy. It's been messy. There's been a lot. Let's get right into the first thing. This came out yesterday, but I didn't do this. I discussed this a lot on this morning's video. But, David Ornstein saying United switched their midfielder search away from Manuel Ugarte and onto other options. They don't intend to meet that 60 million euros fee. We'll revisit if the price drops. Talks have cooled and they're exploring other top targets for the right deal. They were set to have new talks after João Neves. I guess those conversations were held and the price didn't change. So United are never going to make the 60 million euros offer. And if they're not going to change it on that, then so be it. And so that complicates things and says, all right now, until they lower their price, United are moving away from Ugarte. Unfortunately, what does that mean? Well, we don't want to spend that much money, but also we need to have other options. One of the names that had come up that Duncan Castles had mentioned before, Sander Berge, a surprise midfielder target. My understanding of this one in particular, this is from the Athletics article, but my understanding of this one in particular is United made contact with the camp, but at this point in time, it's pretty preliminary. They have not expressed to the player that they intend to sign him as of yet. They've not gotten his, focus or willingness on joining United in particular. They've got more options they're looking at. He's got more options he's looking at. It's not yet there, but we are in the back end of this transfer window and things could start to move fast. That Ugarte thing was quick. They had some more conversations with PSG very recently and then moved on. And so that was like, as it's happening. And now they've moved to another one and they're looking at other players and evaluating. From Sky Sports is saying that United are still interested in Ugarte, but not at PSG's asking price. Linking with Youssouf Fofana, Martin Zubamendi, Sofiane Amrabat, Sander Berge, Fulham deciding whether to go back in. And that's the other story. We also have James Ducker saying the same thing. Looking at other midfield options, Sander Berge, Rio Zubamendi, but also possible return of Amrabat as it looks like this huge backup plan. I mean, Ugarte injury's not dead, but PSG would have to lower their price. And he also mentions there might be a few other names outside of our view. Honestly, I don't think anyone knows who we're going for at this point in time. That is for sure the thing. Ugarte was the main focus. Now that he's not happening, I'm not saying it's scattergun, but United are obviously looking at a lot of different options now to figure out who to get. We don't know. I don't think anybody does at this point in time. I don't know. Honestly, I really don't. Sander Berge, like I said, is not in an advanced position yet, but these things could start to move pretty quickly. We're near the end of the window. It could happen fast. The season's about to start. They press ahead and decide to do something, they can do it. The problem is Scott McTominay. This is from DiMarzio also saying that United had kind of entered into the discussions for Fofana. Some people are mentioning Fofana, some people aren't. This is the problem. This morning, I said in my video, I mentioned it yesterday, I said it again today, that I had some concerns about the McTominay situation, that he potentially would not want to leave, and that he potentially would not want to join Fulham. And, there was it was just a complication to where it was making things a bit more questionable. And I'm not sure how committed, Fulham wanted to be without being 100% that McTominay wanted to join. I don't know. My understanding of this is that it is multifaceted. The reasons why this is not happening. One being the unsurety over McTominay really being fully up for that move. United, at this point in time, need to sell him for PSR purposes. They cannot sell Casemiro right now, and so we're running out of funds, and that is limiting things, and that might be why we're looking at prices of guys like Sander Berge, Fofana in the 25-30 bracket for the midfield, or way down the bottom returning for Amrabat. But they got to make this decision. But this is an issue. This is the issue, is that they're not going to do a bigger offer. There may be concerns over the commitment of the player. He's not fully committed to leaving. It's complex in there, and that is the issue. So it's not totally surprising, even though United had hoped for and expected they could come up a bit on that fee. I think those are part of the concerns. And then, another mention here of kind of the same midfield targets. So kind of we're getting the same story all around. Wan-Bissaka Mazraoui seems to be a separate thing that's sort of there, but hasn't quite moved yet into final stages, despite the talks. Expected to make another offer for De Ligt. In the midfield, this is where we're at. After Ugarte, struggling to sell, don't have a lot of money, and looking at a lot of alternative targets, and I'm really just not sure what happens. So we're kind of coming down into the final stages of where we're trying to approach. Obviously, getting a fullback, getting a center back, and getting a midfielder is still what we've been trying to do for a while. The lack of being able to sell is definitely complicating this. We need Wan-Bissaka to actually get over the line. It's been close for a while now. And then we need, we need that to get over the line. We need something over the line if we're going to be able to spend significantly in other areas. And we need clubs to also come down in their price estimates and their price wants. 50 million euros plus add-ons for De Ligt keeps getting mentioned as the price. And as I keep saying, that's not what they value him at, and that's the problem. So there needs to be shifts from the selling clubs too for these deals to happen. I'm not sure. We'll see what the day brings. We kind of know what's going on, but at the same time, don't know what's going to happen. Nobody can predict the future. And that's important to note in all of this information. But I'll try to keep you informed, at least as to my understanding of it. So that's what we've got. McTominay held up. Moved on from Ugarte for now, unless PSG come back and say, okay, fine, we'll take 45, 50 million, then United would take him. But looking at other targets in the meantime. So there you have it. That's what we've got. Thanks for watching. We'll be in touch tomorrow for the podcast and a few other things. Thanks.